All right, what's going on, everybody? Tamar Turner here with another episode of the Down to Business podcast. And so for today, I was actually able to sit down with my boy Ant of Arshun Skincare. And we were actually able to be the first podcast interview since he started his business at the height of the pandemic. So I was very excited to get into, that and how he's been going through and how he's handled just the changes and been able to adapt to everything around him. But on top of that, he was even kind of going into detail about, as someone who's not really big on social media, about how moving forward, he's really planning to show his face more and really give the people more diverse content. And then on top of that, we were able to even talk about how he would use some of his products to describe his business, the model, and the mantra. So without further ado, enjoy episode 79, The Keys to Simplicity. All right, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner. And look, we coming with it today, man. The beautiful thing about this podcast is that, man, I've been able to meet so many dope individuals. Some people for the first time, some people have been able to really just, rekindle some friendships, rekindle some relationships and things like that. But it's beautiful, when you can get recommendations word of mouth, when people are so excited for how they kind of came on your podcast and how everything went and everything, that they want to send you other people. And I've had that happen so much. Like, people would be like, yo, I'm remiss, if I don't send you this person, or I want this person on here. I think this person would be a perfect fit. Like, you mind if I? And my answer is always going to be like, yes, yes, yes. So the reason why I kind of bring that up is just because I really want to shout out Whitney, man. Big shout out to W Cosmetics, man. Makeup Wit. She really been making it happen. So Wit actually brought her on for my third episode, man. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so we really got down to the nitty gritty. And when you think about the third episode, this was back in 2019. So it's just been crazy, to see her progression, to see her be featured in different things and all of that, and really just do the damn thing, simply put. So, but why I bring up her is just because I want to thank her, one, for the connect. So the guy who I'm sitting down with today, my man Ant, she was somebody who basically, she sent me alongside. She sent me a host of individuals, but he was one of them. And she was basically described him as a, ambitious man who was really just ready to get after, was really just trying to make a difference, not only in his lives, but in the lives of others. And I think that once you guys really hear what he's here to talk about and what he does and what he's been doing and what he's going to continue to do, you'll see that, she was really on the right track. So very excited to be sitting down with my man Ant today, and he's going to give y'all a little bit of a dive into what he does and how long he's been doing it, why he's been doing it, a little bit of everything. So how you feeling today, bro? How's everything going?
Everything been good, man. I'm definitely blessed. Definitely shout out to Whitney for even putting me on this platform, introducing me to you. But yeah, let's jump into it. My name's Ant. I'm feeling good. Started my first business during the pandemic. Once you had that time, I finally did like my P's and Q's and got everything all organized and situated. And then I just went for it, man. I have a skincare business, Arshun Skincare. And I'm just taking care of that business, and just enriching lives from skincare to lifestyle to like fitness and everything like that. Because this is how you live, and your appearance is the best thing to you. So that's one thing that I looked after. And I just go from there.
I love that, bro. And so part of what I heard in the beginning was that you basically said that you started the business during the pandemic. So did you start this business as a result of the pandemic? Did it kind of, I know some people lost jobs. I know some people were not employed, had to, figure out other means as a way to, supplement that income and stuff like that. Was this really just a part of the plan, and the pandemic just so happened to just happen, and you said, I'm still making this happen? Either way, what was really that journey like when you really kind of were getting our Sean Skincare really up and running and really going?
Yeah, I call it perfect timing, man. Perfect timing because, during that time, I was just thinking of ideas because I always wanted to be a business owner. Even when I was in college, I majored in the business, and I always just had ideas and everything like that. I'm like night after night, I'm just thinking like, dang, what can I do? What can I do? It'd be the simplest things, and then it finally clicked on me. Like, I care about my skin, my appearance so much. I'm like, dang, I might as well just make skincare. 'Cause I really didn't feel like going out anywhere anyway. During the pandemic, and to draw back, I had very bad skin. I had eczema when I was growing up, like dark spots everywhere, dry skin. And even my mom took me to like different places, to get medicine, any creams or anything like that to get prescribed, and none of that still worked for me. So going all natural was definitely the route for me, for my skin. Like the slightest thing keeping my skin sensitive. So, like I said, when the pandemic hit, that was just the perfect timing where I can just really sit down, draw my plan up, and then go from there. Get my LLC and everything. So get all like the back end stuff all situated. Make sure like I'm good with that, and then really just formulate my ingredients and things like that. Because at the time I wasn't working, and I just had that expanded time. So I was like, hey, let me just put this down to work and finally, you know, take that risk and build that business up.
Love the idea of risk. I always love a risk, man. Whether it just be calculated, whether it just be a full steam ahead, whatever the case may be. I think that it takes risk. It takes risk sometimes to fail. It takes risk to see what needs to be done, what needs to be changed, what can be done, the potential. It's a learning experience, all in all. So, what really stuck out to me about that was how you said, growing up, it was a challenge for you. It was, from the eczema to just going to different dermatologists, different doctors, getting prescribed this, using this, saying wait this long and this and that, and probably side effects and adverse conditions and everything like that. So once you kind of really got into that natural space, you said, okay, this is really working for me. Let me really, get in my bag and really figure some stuff out. How I would say, how versed were you? How educated were you in the field of, like, obviously this was new to you, but you noticed that something was working. So when it came to, once you realized what worked, what were your next steps? Was it a lot of trial and error? Were you trying to test other people? Was this really on you? Were you doing a lot of like background research on that? Because I understand, like you said, you did all the business stuff, all the logistic stuff to set up, but the actual, the products, the what the people need, what was working for you, how did that really start? Were you somebody who kind of came in the game with a little bit of a one up, being that you went through so much, or was this all kind of happening for you for the first time and you were just rolling with the punches?
Yeah, definitely. I had like definitely a good advantage from what they were prescribing me. So what I did, I kind of just broke it down from black and white skin, oily skin, sensitive skin, dry skin. I definitely put all those ingredients in together. Definitely did my research with that just to make sure I'm on the right path. Even with combination skin, making sure that I'm meeting the needs for the customer. And what I did every time I would formulate something, I would give it a week to see, would it change or anything, like would the color change, or will it harden or anything like that. And during the pandemic I had my family, that was kind of like my test products, and shout out to them because I knew I was annoying, but I had my brother, my grandma, even Whitney, either like test out cleansers, is this moisturizer cream okay, like what kind of texture do they like and things like that. And I kind of just based it off of their skin. I'm like, hey, what kind of skin do you have? My brother be like, oh, I have oily skin, So I did my research with that. So each thing, I definitely took my time with it. I definitely didn't want to put something out and then it just be like, dang, that's not working for me. I definitely took my time with it, and I was very anxious at the time too. And Winnie kind of helped me with that as well. She was like, you know what, just take your time. Because you don't want to rush something and then it come back on you. So I definitely took my time with everything, did my research, making sure um, it helped me out, helped my family out. Um, that way, once I put it out, everything's all solid. And from the cleansers to the toners and everything like that, it's all detailed, and I make sure like all my ingredients are right. Just for anybody's skin, and I definitely wanted to duplicate that for black people and white people, because I just didn't want to be based off of just that one skin type. I have white customers as well, so I definitely wanted to accommodate their skin as well.
I love that, man. I love the fact that you didn't stay stuck to one. Granted, you know why you started, you know what type of skin that you were kind of aiming to target, aiming to heal, aiming to reform. But the fact that you branched out, and that also really goes to show just how much extensive research that you did, just how much time you really took to perfect this craft, to really get in the lab, to really make things happen. Because like you said, one of the biggest pieces of advice that you got that obviously seems like it really helped you a lot was take your time, don't rush it. A lot of times the process of trial and error, the process of trying something out, sending it to somebody, asking somebody for their feedback, you getting back in the lab, it could make things seem like, like this is like a never ending process. It could be like, man, when is it just going to hit? When is things really just going to work? When am I just going to wake up and be like, yo, got the product? This cleanser works, this moisturizer works, we locked in, we good. But sometimes we looking for that one hit wonder, that success overnight, when whole time, it dies out after a while. Think about how many one hit wonders. Think about how many things were here today, gone the next, just because of what was hot at the moment, of the time not taking. Timing is everything, bro. So I definitely do say that that's a big testament to you and what you did. So a question, it's kind of like a question, but it's also like a statement at the same thing. And you kind of just give your thoughts on this. So as somebody so I definitely have very sensitive skin. I would say my skin is very oily. I would say that, I really never had to really go the dermatologist route as far as like getting prescribed things, figuring out what works, what doesn't work. Honestly, bro, I still can't even tell you what works with my skin, what doesn't work. I wish I knew. It's definitely a trial and error process. I just know now. I've been drinking my water, minding my business. But so as far as like, when I think about dermatologists, when I think about a lot of these creams, from the Avenos to the Doves to the Clearasil to all the commercials that we see, bro, and then you flip over the back of the thing, or you look at the bottom of the ingredients list, bro, I can't pronounce half of this stuff. I don't know what it is I'm putting on my face. I don't know, what the. So, do you feel like there's a disconnect between doctors, between dermatologists, and just all natural in general? Because for me, why I think that is because of this. So basically, you were saying that for a good portion of your life, you were getting prescribed. You were meeting with people, seeing this, doing that, doing that, doing that, doing that. Wasn't working. The minute you branched off, looked at your skin type, looked up the natural routes, and you went natural, things changed for you. In a sense, you stopped giving business to those people, to those doctors, and everything like that. So do you think it's a game? Do you think they do kind of stuff like this on purpose? Do you think doctors and dermatologists and people like that don't really take the natural route as a result to just push an agenda? Do you think it's just something? Do you think I mean, obviously, some probably do. Some probably do have natural suggestions and stuff like that. But do you feel like there's really just a disconnect between all natural, between, just that transparency and what doctors and dermatologists may really tell us when it comes to skin and skincare?
Yeah, definitely. Even like you said, even when you read the back of any type of skincare, it's a list of things. It could be probates, it can be solubles or anything like that. And like that's the chemicals that you really don't want to be putting on your skin. And like once you go to natural, you can tell, like, because everything is just all combined and concise. You know what's in there. You can read it right. You know what you're putting on your skin. That way you can look it up. And versus the dermatologists and even bigger brands, they're just putting out that product. They're already a big brand. They don't, and they kind of implement like, hey, this might can work for you, or take this route. And like once you really get into it, you can tell like a number of chemicals in there that you really don't want to put in your body. And that's how they formulate things. It's a big corporation versus, if you're doing something natural, you already know you got your shea butters, you got your essential oils and everything like that, things that can complement your skin, so that way you won't even wake up with like any blemishes or any breakouts or anything like that, because it's all natural. It's not damaging your skin. And that's what the big corporations do, and that's what was dangerous, hurting my skin for the longest, because I'm reading the back of the boxes. I'm like, all right, I see one word that I know, and then everything else is just like, all right, that must be killing my skin right now, because it can be anything from Dove, it can be soap, any type of cleansers. Once I put it on my body, it's a wrap for me. And so that's why I like the natural route. And I even tried to work with other products that weren't mine, and it kind of did work for me to a certain point, but it's nothing like having your own. And that's the one thing that I wanted to put in my business. It's all natural things that's good for your skin, um, versus all these different type of things I'm gonna just throw at you. I never wanted to do that, especially for my brand. Because if I'm going to promote all natural skin, that's what it's going to be. All cruelty free and everything like that. And that's kind of what worked for me, my skin. Even the benefits from one of my customers, because she had the same type of dermatologist. She had prescribed skin and everything. She came my route. The thing with her, she would go to her doctor every week to see what her progress was. Once she tried my stuff, he's like, "Dang, what are you trying different?" She was like, I just tried a new skincare product. That kind of benefit her, because even the dermatologists sometimes put like little chemicals in there as well. That all natural route is the best way to go.
Crazy, bro. Just because, like, even I was looking at some of my friends' products. Like, I've used a host of just people who are brought on, and just I've even seen it, from the Celeste Essentials to the Mad Creole products, and just those different brands. And I was looking at some of these ingredients, and I was looking at what was in it, and I'm just like, yo, I consume some of this stuff. Like, some of this stuff we use in food, and just we use every day, or we use that the added health. So it's just like, dag, like the whole time I'm looking at the back of these labels, bro. The only chemical I could read is water. I'm just like, I don't know all these X's and hydrophilic, bro. I couldn't give it to you, bro. I really don't know. Like, it's just, but that's just crazy, just because if we really just step back and take the time to think, and just think about, homegrown, individual, natural, a lot of this stuff is just from the earth, bro. But it's also crazy too, because it makes you think that obviously these companies are pushing some type of agenda. If you, as you somebody who you getting Dove, you getting Aveeno, you getting, like I said, I could name all of them, but one, you see these brands on TV. Two, you see all the before and after, which is obviously just cameras, makeup, lights, different things like that. But three, you see all the testimonials. You see how they still in business. You see how they taking over all the shelves and different things like that. It kind of begs the question for you. Oh, well, if it's working for him, it's working for her. It should be working for me. Maybe I'm not doing something right. So not only are you still continuing to buy these products, oh, now you're saying, oh, well, maybe I need to change my sheets more. Well, I did do so and so. Maybe I need to keep my hands on my face. Maybe I need to hand sanitize, whatever, whatever. But whole time, it's the products you're using, and you just keep putting it over and over and over again, and you falling right into that trap. Because for me, bro, when I started using my friends' products or just all natural stuff for that homemade, that organic, bro, I would get out the shower, I would wake up every morning, I'm just like, dag, like I feel different. Like I feel good though. Like it's not like I'm not sweating throughout the day. It's not coming off my face, and you're not seeing like strands and different shades all over me. It's like this really feels good on my skin, and then the smell and stuff on top of it. And even I noticed some of the best stuff for you either is unscented or has a smell that you won't like. Like when I was using turmeric on my face and everything like that, I'm just like, yo, turmeric has a very strong like smell. It's even very like even if you use it on like food or it can stain like anything. But I'm like, yo, that's some of the best product I ever used on my. It was to the point I first put it on my hand. I'm doing this with my hands, and I said, oh, people putting this on their. Hold up, huh? You be putting this on the face, like. But then I did it, and then I used the whole. Next thing you know, the whole jar going. I'm like, oh damn, like this. This really worked. This really helps. So I'm definitely just encouraging people. Like, yo, check out these products. Know what you put. If you can't read the back of the label, or if you don't really know, Google it, look it up, consult with people like Ant, and different things like that. And that really kind of goes into like my next topic, my next thing. So with I obviously, I know not a bunch, but I know people who do the skincare. I know people who do the hair, the beard, everything like that. So with you, with your mission, your mantra behind everything, when it comes to creating your products, when it comes to getting things, out on the shelves or just letting people know what you have, how do you do it? Like, if basically if I'm coming to shop with Ant for the first time, looking on the website, even I make contact you, reach out to the page, whatever. Are you doing like do you have just set products for set skin types? Do you have set products for like broad skin types? Do you do consultations with people, and maybe have people even made you kind of come out with products just because they've had different type of skin? How does that really work for you when you really get in the lab and really start to making and constructing some of these products?
Yeah, definitely. Even in my beginning stage, it was kind of based off of me at first, just to make sure I'm doing the right thing for my skin, and then once I finally like distinguish like my first set, my cleanser, my moisturizer, my oil. That's when I started to use it on my brother, my grandma, just to see what the side effects were for them. And that kind of brought their skin to life. So I took it further. Once I was a couple months in the game, I did have people come up to me like, hey, you know, I have such and such type skin. What's going to benefit me? If I use your products, and I kind of just went down the list. This might what you need. Maybe you just need a cleanser. Maybe you just need serum, because everybody got different skin types. I had, and I'm gonna draw back, and like mostly I would say some of the black people, we mostly had like the same type of skin. It's when I branched out to the white people, or Middle Eastern people. That was kind of where I had to like put my homework into tests, because their skin type is so different. So what I would position to them, like, hey, nothing scented. It's all like I said, it's all natural, and the ingredients that I have are going to benefit your skin from what you're telling me. Because if you have oily skin, I know how to sell you a good product that's going to make sure your skin comes out good. Once you sleep, wake up, you might not even need a lot of product or anything like that. You're just going to clean up your blemishes or whatever the case may be. And if you have makeup or anything like that, the cleanser, that Manuka honey is going to definitely flush all that makeup out, just to make sure your skin is clear. So even when even now, I'm working on like getting like a little test from my website. That way you can kind of like put your skin type, what you want to work on, what you want to fix. That's my next goal for the next year. That way it's a lot more easier. That way, once you take that test, it can already set your cart up, from what you need based on, what that test, like, what like whatever that test like kind of like quizzed you on, and like whatever your skin type based on what you need, my car's going to set you up for that. So that's my homework for the next year. But even just talking to people, if they DM me or anything like that, I already did my homework. So whatever you need, from oily skin, combination skin, dry skin. And that's kind of what I said I wanted to set it up on, because at first I ain't gonna lie, it was just based on me. I'm like, dang, how I'm gonna venture out, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, doing that homework really saved my life, and having different customers, because I definitely wanted to construct it where it's just not black based. Now, even if you look at my Instagram, like my aesthetic is it's always going to be people, my product photos, and like any messages or anything like that. That way you can even educate yourself, if you don't feel comfortable DM me or anything like that. But from all my customers, most of them always came to me just to make sure, hey, I have such and such type of skin, and how can your skin care product benefit me? I was always there for them to answer that question, just based on what they told me.
I love that, man, and hey, I attest to him, y'all. He is very detail oriented. Like the aesthetic on his page is great, just from the colors, just to the aura of it. It's just to even, and he had me feeling myself. At one point, he used to post like quizzes and stuff, and I had to chime in on some of them. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot wrong though, y'all. So, but it teaches you a lot. But it's good to have a brand like that. It's good to have a brand that you don't feel like it's just selling you something. They're just trying to push a product. They're just saying here, buy this, buy this. It's good to have a brand that's saying buy this, but this is why, or this is what this does, or this is what this is, or do you know what a serum is? Do you know when you use a moisturizer? Do you know how many times you should, it's good to have brands like that just because, I will be the first to tell you I'm not versed when it comes to this stuff. Like I said, I still don't even know my routine, what works for me. I know I've used great products. I know I've had some very healthy skin and just some very healthy fit. My skin is in phases. Like I think it depends on the season. I think it depends on location, mood, whatever. It could be a host of things for me. But, when you have a brand like that just educates you on such a broader scope, it just makes you want to dive more into it and further. But like he said, he can also get personable. He can do the consultations. He's done his research and he's done it through and through to be able to, help folks, everybody. So I love the fact that you said, that you branched out. I love the idea of branching out. I love the idea of not just sticking to one thing. But I also know what branching out can entail. Branching out could entail, you try something new for the first time. It gets a little difficult. Like you said, you had to get in the lab and do more homework. Okay, well, if I'm a business owner sometimes and, life is stressful, things are happening, what is working for me is working. And if I try to go left a little bit, if it starts to not work, sometimes I may draw back and just not do it at all. But for you, you went left, you went right, you had a little drawback, but you kept it going straight. So what would you say really allowed you to hone in on branching out? Because like I said, some people can get into the branching out space, see it doesn't work, have that first failure, have that first, negative review or comment and draw it back. But for you, you said, this is me learning more. I got my skin down pat. I got people who look like me skin down pat. Let me branch out to, like you said, the Caucasians, the Middle Easterns. What really prompted you to do that? But not only prompted you, then allowed you to stick with it and really keep it going and make successful products.
Yeah, I definitely had a lot of supporters. Even when I launched, um, when I first launched on Instagram, definitely had a lot of shout outs and everything like that. So a lot of supporters on my back, and like that's one thing I wanted to, you know, keep and hold that. So and kind of like you say, once you had something, you stick with it, you're gonna like it. And I had a couple friends, a couple Middle Eastern friends, couple Caucasian friends come to me like, hey, listen, I'm not big on skincare, but I definitely want to get into that field. And I quizzed them on. I'm like, well, what's your biggest issue? And like, is it dry skin on your nose? Is it your forehead? What what's preventing you from not using skincare at all? Like, what's going on? And having that support system, I'm like, dang, like I'm really talking to different people. Like, so I definitely wanted to educate them, make them get comfortable with skincare. And if it's my brain, why not be the first one to do it? And so just having conversations with them, what they were working on, what they used to use, and things like that. you know and whatever issues they were having, whether it was blemishes or if it was acne, how do I treat that? I'm like, yo, listen, I have, again, all natural products that work for your skin. And whatever the issue you're having, if you're having issues with the nose area, the chin, if it's dry skin, I have a cleanser to help you with that. I have a serum to help you with that. I got a rose toner to help you with that. And doing that, that leads to more questions. Like, all right, so when should I use it? When shouldn't I use it? And even in my Instagram, and that's kind of why I did those type of things. Why the honey cleanser? Why the face oil? When to use these type of things. Even in my business, if it's nighttime or dark, or daytime, that kind of like relieve that stress from them. And that kind of helped me out too. Because what that did was make me not think one minded. I was kind of I had a whole team I had to support. So doing things like that, just having conversations with people, And just having that support system, having different people actually wanted to get into skincare, if they were Middle Eastern or Caucasian, that kind of helped me a lot, just, and I'll always draw back to like that inclusion diversity. That's one thing I want to stand on as well. Because, it's not just one person that needs it. Everybody needs skincare. So why not educate y'all? And like you said, not sell y'all on a product, but, bring y'all into why and the needs to know first before I even try to sell y'all anything.
It's all about putting it in front of the people, man. They say oftentimes that you could lead a horse to the water, you can't make them drink it though. And I feel like sometimes with certain businesses, certain products, certain mantras, missions, people just lead the horse, and then they really just trying to push that horse down there to really make it happen. When all I want to do, let me just get you there. If the horse thirsty enough, he's gonna drink it himself. If he like it and whatever the case, that's a different story. But at the end of the day, I got you there. I got you the resource. I got you in front of what you needed, and that's the biggest thing. And I hear that a lot with you, and I love that, man. So a question I kind of want to spin it a little bit, man. So you listed a lot of products, from serums to moisturizers to toners and everything like that. So when thinking about your business, when thinking about your skincare, your mission, what you really want to do, if you had to select a product that you have, that you have had, maybe you discontinued, or maybe that you even kind of want to debut or bring to the forefront, what product would you use to describe your business, and why would you do that?
I would use, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I would use three. Um, my first three products that I tested, went full force on, was my honey cleanser, my my moisturizer, and my face oil. That was the three that kind of launched it out. So even if you go on my business page, you'll see like the lion and the whole setup that I had. And that was a driving force. That was my top three. In doing that, I would make those three stand out the most because they touch every area that you need on your face. The honey cleanser, just cleanse it 2 times a day. Don't really need a lot. Right in the morning, fresh face. The moisturizer, that can be from summertime to fall, winter. And that keeps your face moisturized all day. The face oil is what gonna help you out at night. And that was my biggest thing, because sometimes back then I would go to sleep with a dry face. I never put nothing on my face at night, and then I would always wonder why I had like an ashy face and things like that. So I will always put those three in my top. Because one, that's what I started with. That's what helped me out, and getting those three out was like my proudest moment, as a business owner. Like I said, it's my first business. Um, I just tested those things out for so long, and like I even would get mad when I got the feedback, and that's why I knew it was a passion, because I would get mad about it. I would bring the moisturizer to my grandma, and she'd be like, "Yeah, nah, that's not it." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, this is my third time making this. Like, what? Why you don't like the consistency or something like that?" And same thing with the moisturizer. It would be too liquidy. It's not doing it for me. She would say, "It's not doing it for me." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But those three things, man, I just push that to the heart, and that's what made me build my passion up even more, to like, you know what, I'm gonna go hard on these products, man. I'm gonna make sure I do my tests and everything. But yeah, if I definitely had three, I'm gonna do three top. It'll be my set: the cleanser, the moisturizer.
So he switched it up, y'all. I gave him an option for one. He put it in the set. I like that. I like that a lot, man. And grandma not going to play with you, man. She going to give you the real every single time. But that's what we need. You need somebody who is going to tell you, like, look, somebody with an unbiased opinion in a sense. Look, she's not in skincare, so she has no reason to lie to you or hype you up or anything like that. Granted, y'all family, she love you to death, but that's even more the reason why she wants to give you that feedback. She wants to see you be at your best, because she would hate for you to hear it from somebody else. I'd rather give it to him here and he hear it from a random customer. And you really gonna take it like, whoa, hold on, what you know about this, bro? Or like, what you really. So the fact that you take it serious like that, bro, as you should. I take feedback like that serious. I remember when I first started, like, and I was getting some feedback about some of the episodes and just how people felt, and I'd be like, what you know about voiceovers or podcasts or music or intros or outros or how to fade or with the transition. But then I just be like, you know what? You need that. You need that audience. You need somebody else listening with the ear other than yours. Because for you might not hear certain things, or you might just be programmed to look past certain things or shrug it off. But for somebody else who's listening for a different analytical reason, or or using a product for a different reason or rhyme, something like that, they could really put you on game. So, um, something that I'm very interested in. I love the term, or I love the phrase, everything in moderation. I feel like that applies to a lot of life. So when it comes to skincare, when it comes to, really finding your routine, really figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, are there any like misconceptions out there that you love to debunk just off the rip? Is there such thing as like washing your face too much? Is there such thing as being too moisturized? Is there such thing as, not putting enough products on you? Is there, sometimes I look at, like, I'm not gonna lie, like when I first kind of got into this natural space and I would look at different people's routine, whether it be on YouTube or just in general, or the TikToks or however they make them, and I would just see how many bottles and creams and what they use, and I'd be like, bro, so at the end of the day, what is on your face? Like, what are you? If I feel like you just mixing so much, I didn't see 8 bottles. I didn't see you wash your face. I didn't see you moisturize. I didn't see you dry it. Then I didn't see you scrub something in. Then I didn't see you take it off. So what? Yeah, like what really is that like? Can you break some of that down for me, for some of the other novices? Are there just anything that with you coming into business, with you, your products, your website, your page, anything? Is there anything that you just like to shoot down, or a lot of what people come to you kind of with one opinion, but you kind of are able to formulate and educate them to something else?
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that because I do feel like some people buy like expensive products or just too many things just because of the brand. And if you look at mine, it's just straightforward. It's just everything you need. I didn't need like an eye cream or anything like that. I didn't need like all the other stuff, the spot joint. Because if you have a good cleanser, you don't need a spot treatment or anything like that. So I do feel like some people tend to go way out when it comes to skincare. Like just keep it simple. Just keep it simple. As long as you have a good cleanser just to clean your face, good moisturizer from winter, like I said, from winter to summer. Um, Now the one thing people do get skeptical about is the toner and the serum. Because you're like, damn, like, well, like, what is that? Some people don't know what that is. Like, the the toner really cleans your face. Like, soon as you cleanse your face, the toner really brightens up your skin, and that gets like all the excess dirt off of you. And then the serum, which helped me out a lot. I used to have wrinkles on my forehead, and that kind of just clears the wrinkles out. I would use that to benefit people. Even the older generation. My grandma loves it. It just clears out wrinkles for your face. But like all that other stuff, the spot treatment, the some people do use eye cream for the dark spots, but I mean, I don't think it's a big thing to me. Like if I'm coming out with a product, again, I definitely take my time with it. I just don't want to just be putting things out just because I have it. I came out with just the basic essentials that you need for clear skin. And that's always been my motto. I never wanted to branch out to do what Kylie Jenner's doing or whatever, whoever, all them big names. My brand is just simple. My brand is just simple. If you want clear skin, that's just the essentials that you need. Just for that. And I do feel like people tend to tend to go all out, caked up face. Like you don't need all that cleanser. If you look at one of from time to time I do a skin sin. A skin sin is something that you just shouldn't be doing. Like I say, yo, the less is more. The less is more. Again, I'm not trying to keep having y'all buy things. If you can use less cleanser, do that because you don't even need that much. Because the honey's going to evaporate. You want to get a deep clean. But one thing, long as you cleanse twice a day, I feel like you're fine. And then just use the basic, the whole basic set, and then I think you'll be fine.
Less is more, y'all. Come on now, let's play it smart here. Let's keep it simple, for sure, for sure. I love simplicity, man. I definitely think that it helps, especially when you're getting into. A lot of times, that could be where the apprehensiveness comes from. That you're so used to just these big brands, and we base everything off of that. And it's just like, well, if Dove, if Aveeno, if Kylie Jenner, if so and so has this and that and this, well, why he only got this, or why he only got that? But and so instead of really tapping in with you and figuring out why, they compare you, and then they automatically just gonna go where they feel, more. I don't know. I don't even know what word to call it, just because at the end of the day, they don't know. They're not really as educated. They just see a name in front of something, that maybe a testimonial, maybe like I said, that makeup, those characters. Those before and after pictures, man, they'll sell you on anything if you really ain't know no better. If you really ain't know what behind the scenes and how all of that really works. So I feel that, bro, and I definitely do think that, especially with starting out with something, especially not, I wouldn't even say so simple as skin, but with something as common as skin. Everybody has it. It's just a matter of, what kind, type, different weather pattern, and everything like that. But when you think about these products, I feel that vibe about simplicity, just because if you think about how natural everything is, where we're pulling some of this stuff from, some, like I said, some of this stuff you could literally go in your local grocery store, farmer's market, or whatever, or even grow it yourself and really use it on your face. So when you think about that, if it's that simple to do that, the routine can't be too much complicated itself. You feel me? So it's just that constant education, but it's also too that agenda that's being pushed. Like we said, we look at these big names, we look at these big companies, we look at these ads, these promos, and we just would think that this is the best thing in the world. Well, it could be the best thing in the world for so and so, but when I put it on my face, oh, this thing breaks me out, or it's just not doing anything at all. And I feel like that's a big thing with skincare. A lot of people like what they like, but it's because they haven't really branched out. They haven't really tried anything. It's not to say that your products or what you're using or your company or whoever you're supporting is not right. It could be very much good for you. But have you tried this? Did you know this? Did you read that? Did you visit his website? Did you know? Did you do stuff like that? So that's always just something to keep in the back of your mind. So okay, thinking about your website, thinking about everything that you have going on from the page to the aesthetic to just how you run things. What's next on your docket, man? We going into a new year soon. Obviously, like you said, you started this at the height of the pandemic. We're still in here. We're still making things happen. Things have changed. You've obviously been flourishing. You've learned. You've been able to debut different things. So what's next for Arshun Skincare, man? What are you really looking, without obviously, revealing too much, or knocking over any spoilers or something like that? But what are you really most looking forward to?
Definitely. For next for me is definitely one more product. I'm not gonna say what it is, but that's definitely in the works. Definitely one more product coming out for the new year, and even starting now. Definitely get my face out there. Doing more videos. I did one video when I first came out, just like a natural skincare routine. But definitely want to get out, branch out a little bit more, build a YouTube page, really get more content from there. Kind of just having like a community now. Having a community. Like I said, it wasn't really my goal to sell, just the passion I had. And just take care of people's skin. So definitely build a community with that. Have challenges and things. And kind of just make it more active, man. The people's what it's about, and definitely getting out there, because I definitely been on Instagram heavy. Now it's this next year. It's just time to show my face. Time to show my face. Definitely get comfortable on the scene, make more videos, and just have my community built up. That's my next goal.
Absolutely, bro. Crazy. Before he got on this interview, y'all, he was kind of just, we were chopping it up, just like the pre-interview and stuff, and he was just telling me how this was his first one. This was really like his first time, really, being on the interview and different things like that. And for me, hearing that, I love that. But for me, seeing that, now being able to chop it up with him for almost 40 minutes now, it's just like, damn, bro, this felt natural for me. This felt like, you should have been doing this, or you could have been doing this. You got on here and you really, but it's easy for me to say that, because, and it's easy for you to do that, just because, bro, when you're passionate, like you said, this really started as a passion for you. You wasn't really stressing no money. You wasn't really, look, like you said, you wasn't really trying to go out. You recognized that you had a problem. You was trying to solve something internally, and then basically based off of your results you decided to make it external, because look, if I can do this, if I can impact me and myself, well, why not try to tap in with the people around me? Why not try to help those around, especially direct with my family? If those can be my testers and stuff like that, I might as well see if I can make something that's really going to be useful for y'all. So I love that, bro, and I'm definitely excited for it. I have some definitely have some ideas for you that I want to tap in with you offline that you could just do. But like you said, I love the aesthetic, bro. From the time I tapped in with you, from the time I followed the page, I love it. It's dope, just from how you carry and what you represent. I love that idea of the line, just the black, the gold, and I love all that. But I also love how you give full transparency of your brand. Like I said, a lot of times we can go to certain pages or we can go shop with certain people, and it just feels like it's very one sided. The page really doesn't show too much. It's really just like, buy now, like, buy now, please buy now, like, please buy now. But for you, and then maybe they'll sprinkle some education here and there, or a little teaser, or this and that, or maybe something. But for you, it's just like I get a balance. I feel like I go on your page, I can get educated. I feel like I go on your page, I can see the products. I feel like I go on your page, I can also see the testimonials and learn from people and things like that. So it's, once you start, like you said, once you really get into that space, start putting yourself on the camera, build up the YouTube, start getting, even if you get like reviews from people and have them use the product and maybe like, hey, we document week 1, document week 2, document week 3, and different things like that. Like I said, I'm gonna give you the sauce offline for sure, but it's just like you can only really continue to build, bro. And all that's really gonna do is just strengthen your passion for it. Because like I said, if you already kind of came in to this not really worried about the monetary, not really worried about who buys, who doesn't buy, it's not just gonna miraculously one day you're not just gonna, well, anything is possible. But for me and you just having a conversation, I don't think you're just gonna wake up one day and be like, yo, I need bread, I gotta push all these products, I gotta whatever. No, at the end of the day, that education is still there. You still recognize why you got into this. You still recognize that big agenda being pushed by the big companies and the big skincare lines, bro. So I'm definitely wishing, you all the best with everything, bro. Good luck. I'm definitely glad. For the people who don't know, man, this interview been a long time coming. But I was not going to give up. We was not going to give up until we got this thing locked in. So we definitely got it locked in. I'm very happy that I was able to sit down with him. And like I said, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Whitney, for the connection, for everything that she's doing, for even being able to hear and talk now, and some of the inspiration that she had in his life. So that's just cool, man. Philly, like I tell people all the time, we all we got. We got to stick together, man. We got to figure it out, whether that's just a Philly thing, whether that's just a minority thing, a business thing, whatever. We all we got, man. We got to really make this thing happen. So before I officially close out, before I tell people, where they can lock in with you on the social media and stuff like that, is there anything that you feel like we didn't tap into today? Is there anything, that you feel like you just want to touch on, that you want to leave us with? Maybe some future, skincare people are tapping and maybe some people even in skincare are tapping and maybe you want to leave a message for them or just anything you want to get off your mind, bro.
Definitely that community's coming up. Definitely gonna be more challenges coming up. Like a 30-day challenge. Just getting more involved with y'all. So you definitely gonna see my face more. So I'm not gonna be on Instagram no more. I'm gonna be more front face. Yeah, man, just keep it simple. Definitely stay natural. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it, man.
All right, man. Y'all better be on the lookout for my boy for sure. He definitely got some good things coming. Like I said, I've been tapped in with him. He's been able to educate me, and so now I really just want to continue to pass that education along. Really, just but not only pass that education along, make connections. Who knows what could happen from this? One of my skincare brands could reach out to him, or one of my people who does this, or one of my people who are struggling with that could do this. So if you somebody who listening to this, if you somebody who taps in with this, sees this, and and if it might not even be something that you feel like you need in a sense, quote unquote. But if you just want to learn, like I said, I had questions sometimes, and I would just go to him, or I would answer a question wrong on a poll, and I would then go do my own research, or prompt me to go do my own research. As you can see, he's very personable. He's trying to make things happen, but he does that just because he recognizes that he was there at one point. He didn't know stuff. He was going to doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor after doctor, was just hoping that something was going, really fall through and break through one day. So, get it from the source, man. I appreciate that, bro. So for the people out there, just trying to lock in, whether they be trying to learn more about you, whether they be trying to shop the products, whether they even maybe a collaboration, maybe some ideas that they have or a connection or anything like that. What's the best way to reach you, man? What's the best way to get in contact
Definitely.
with you?
You can definitely catch me on Instagram. My Instagram, my business page is Arshun Skincare. If you do fall under my personal page, you'll see it there as well. The website is arshunskincare.com. And then you can email me if you ever need to. That's info@arshunskincare.com as well. You definitely see a lot of things on my Instagram from like we already said, from quizzes that we still have in the stories, from different posts that you can definitely look at and get some information on as well. And definitely just enjoy your time there, man. Just enjoy your time, browse it out, look at everything that you need, take your time. 'Cause I definitely have a lot of information. So if you do ever get stuck or anything like that, you definitely want to find your answer there. But yeah, you can definitely find me on those pages, those websites, definitely on Facebook as well, Arshon Skincare. And yeah, tap in, man, tap in.
Tap in, yeah, bro. So, like I said, from me to you, bro, extending my hand, extending my heart, love, blessings, all of that, bro. I appreciate you, one, for taking the time. I appreciate you, one, for just everything that you're doing, dog, for just being that resource that we need, especially in the minority community, especially when there can be almost a mistrust. Especially, it's hard for minorities to trust things, from the police to big pharma to politics, the list goes on, bro. So the fact that we have people in our communities directly just trying to be those resources, those vessels of education, bro. I love it. I appreciate it, man. So keep doing what you're doing. I think everybody out there who continues to support the mission continues to tap in, man. We only, we getting bigger and better. 2022 is definitely on the way. The Spotify recap was a hit. Loved all the results. So we only trying to double that and up it for the next year, man. So this has been another episode of the Down to Business podcast here with Tamar Turner.